Hello guys, welcome to my 2022 Moneymaker guide. This guide is only including combat related alt methods of making money. I personally enjoy this guide. I enjoyed making it and it was actually fun. So for this method of the gargoyles, I actually do like the most, in my opinion, combat wise. And I really actually do this every day pretty much. It is so AFK, and the money is not the best, but I value AFKness way more than money. So this method is twice as bad as, let's say, brutal black dragons, but 10 times more AFK. So I can keep on raiding and things like that on my main, right? Because this is actually my alt. And the nice thing that we're gonna need for this is the requirements are quite low. You only need, what is it, 75 or something Slayer? I think I just made a 75 for that. Let's see. Yeah, 75, as I thought. So the thing is, actually, you need one extra item, which most people don't think about. It's the nose pack or Slayer helm, because we need to run a quite dangerous zone, let's say. But once we're there. So we're gonna use full Gutans and pretty much upgrade wherever you can. So definitely upgrade this one in an torture, of course, and this one eventually in the prims. You can go with, so this is very optional here, you can go with a berserker, which is not bad. You get a max hit, which is nice, of course, but it takes away for the AFK-ness. And the Ring of Wealth, for those who don't know, picks up coin, and gargoyles drop a lot of coin. So definitely bring, I think go with the wealth. Go with the wealth. Don't forget your high ox either, and a lot of super combat pots. So I wanted to showcase one extra thing, which is right here. It's a shortcut. It's very nice. If you don't have your nose pack on, you will within 4 hits die of those spectres. They have an ability to drain all your stats, and the lower your stats go, the lower your HP goes automatically as well. So it's very important to do that. So once we're here, and we can just start the kill. I really like the aggression timer, so definitely use that one. Go on auto retaliate, and the key part here, which almost nobody knows, and I really mean almost nobody. Every guy on Gutans, I see them with step. I just cannot fathom why people use step here. I'm literally the only one using crush. So if I will show you right now a print screen of the stats of a gargoyle and why crush is way better. So this is about 90 kills a hour, Wikipedia says. I think that might be very average. Yeah, that definitely, depending whether you, in my opinion, you can skim up 10 more by the fact of being less AFK and using a berserker ring and then manually click after each kill. But yeah, about 90 is fine. So you make between 200k, which I've never really seen like at all, and 600k. Definitely go with an average of, I would say, 500k. That's a good estimate. Like, I've never seen 200k. Like, what the heck do they say? Anyway, it's fine. The other thing is, you do need an extra item. I totally forgot about to tell you guys that, but that is called a rock hammer. A rock hammer is to actually kill the monsters. They cannot be killed otherwise. So it's a really good add-on to know that you need to bring that. So now you see that they actually have lower crush and they're actually weak to crush. Don't use step, guys. Don't be like the rest. Be smart and just use crush. So the next best thing to do, in my opinion, I really like them as well, is skeletal wyverns. There's only one downside, in my opinion. If you are not on task, you cannot instantly save spot as this guy over here. So what you do is you equip yourself the NPC aggressive timer. You're gonna stand AFK and wait 10 minutes. So do keep in mind, if you want to do this strategy, you really kind of want to be prepared to stay a little bit longer. This is not, in my opinion, a way of, oh, let's do half an hour and we will be fine kind of deal. Because you cannot properly set them up without a task instantly safe spottable. So you want to have an open area. As you see, the lines over here show where you actually can walk. If you cross it, they are aggressive again. So you basically need to wait your 10 minutes. So I took the Wikipedia Among Us to show you guys how much skills we're gonna get. Let's scroll down. If you have 40, it's about 850. Is with, you know, shabby gear. Armadillo is about 70. So let's see. Bendels, trek on land, blah 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 blah. Rigger. Well, let's say we do rigger. So that's 20 kills more on the armadillo. So we talk about 90 kills per hour. So that's 1.6 plus a hour if you say spot it, which is quite nice. Let's say we don't overkill it, right? Let's because it's 1.5 mil profit. It is kind of a lot if that makes sense. So let's go with 75 for the average player, I guess, which is 1.24 mil, which is not bad at all. You don't need food, keep that in mind. You really don't. As long as you safe spot, it's not worth to bring food. And if you do happen to get a little bit of a hit in, they drop food as well. So just wait and don't fuck it up twice. Anyway, so it averaged from 40 kills from 800 towards 75, 1.5 mil, which is actually 1.6, which is not bad at all. The requirements that you need, I will show you guys right now, is a couple of things actually. You do need yourself either a Dragon Fire Shield, Ward or something like that, or a Mind Shield. I am, you know, an Iron Man, so I go with the Mind Shield. Don't have a DFS or anything like that. Keep in mind, if you go with a DFS, it's negative magic attack bonus. Therefore, you downgrade your, you know, damage overall over time, which is not the best thing in my opinion. The items that we otherwise bring amongst us is fire runes and nature runes. They are really nice for high alch. I totally forget to fix that. So thank God we have ourselves, you know, the spellbook, standards, and we can just high alch. I will showcase a kill after the 5 minutes are done. Keep in mind, I do use Dragon Bolts A, but in my opinion, broad bolts, just simple broad bolts, or maybe rune bolts, if you're a little bit, you know, want to upgrade your DPS over broad, it's still both really worth and very cheap, especially the broad. If you want to have a little bit higher DPS and a little bit more loose or less profit overall, go with diamond. So you can either safe spot them on 2 different ways. I think here's the stuck, yeah, so that's a really good one. And then the other way around as well. So if he's stuck, as you see here, you can use this one if I'm correct. And if he's stuck a little bit further away there, I think either this one. I don't know anymore why these are here. But this is so AFK. If you want to be more AFK and less intensive, of course, you can go with no rigor, which quite help a lot, I may add. To know how you set the safe spot correctly is to just right click tag all. You will be always safe, so mark the tiles if you want, of course. So about here and here. You might actually want to get a bone crusher and just high alch everything that you got, so you never fool, if that makes sense. That way you can sustain the longest. There is actually a clan, I cannot remember the name, I think Runners, if I'm correct. Don't know for sure. Supply Runner maybe perhaps. And they actually do bring supplies over here. So let's say if you high alch a couple of things, you have, I don't know, let's say you want 10 of those prayer pots, 100k of 100k in high alch, you just trade them instantly and you got your new pots back. It's super nice. So you can theoretically sustain forever. As long as you don't walk out of those lines, you should be fine. So for this method we're actually gonna do two different things. For the VYREWATCH, the faster way and the more AFK way. The things that we're gonna need is one quest, which is called the Sins of the Father. And then of course we need a weapon, because you cannot kill sentinels without any special item. In this case the best item is a blister wood flail, which is definitely recommended over everything else. You might also want to have a dragon's medallion for the teleport there, teleport out, or whenever you want to bank, or you bring yourself some noble gear so you can use the bank actually there. You also want to have high alks, because you want to be as AFK as possible, and therefore whenever you get a drop which is alkable, let's say RUNE, you just do it and make it more AFK that way. So honestly the worst thing is finding a world often. It's always packed jam full with people. It's the most tedious thing ever. But let's say we're gonna stand here, right? You see two people actually initiate or proselyte, which is in my opinion the better thing to do. So you can do two certain things. Auto-retell on, that's always a good one, pod up, and you're just gonna AFK here. With this method you need to run consistently to the altar over here quite a lot. It really is not a way to go. As you see, we already lost about 10 prayers, so I would highly recommend skip this method and just go AFK, no piety or anything like that, and just stand here. There are certain places that's standing the best. In my opinion, if you stand right before the door, is the fastest way to the statue and the fastest way back, so you lose the least amount of possible money, if that makes sense. But it really doesn't matter too much to run back and forth, especially once you have prayer items equipped. So yeah, this is actually a very good method, and it might seem to be, let's say, if we kill 90 an hour, give or take 500 to 600k, which is for this AFK very decent. I will showcase the loot right now. So the wiki says 90 on average. There is not really a lot to say besides IAD, preserve, divination pots, and each kill is about 6.5k. The loot is quite nice, and of course if you have a little bit of luck, the blood shard is where you're aiming for. Don't count on it, but over time it definitely will add up. So 90 is about 550, but let's say we don't go with the initiate, so let's say 100 then, with piety and everything on. It's more around 611k or 12k for that matter, which is not bad at all. The output is, or sorry, input in your supplies is really low. It's only 15k, 16k, depending on, you know, whatever you use. We can even go cheaper with a super attack and a super strength, and that's about it. You don't need to defend anyway, since you're praying, for that matter. So for this method I'm gonna show you guys two different ways of killing them. One is with Armadillo, and we just assume we have a black dragon tusk, and the other one is with Void. The items that we of course need is a Serric talisman to teleport towards Lovagenge, and a teleport back for, you know, banking. The items as well are anti-fire, ranging potions, and prayer potions. It is not too hefty in supply wise, but you kind of want to have a decent setup, which can go up in price. So let's teleport and start a kill. So right before we actually enter, now we are arrived here, we're gonna put up everything, and therefore keep in mind you kind of want to have protect from magic on if you don't have an anti-fire shield, and rigor for more damage. Let's go. Oh, totally empty. Normally you don't see that too often, but that's very nice. So this method will lead up to, well, I will say it depends on the gear, but from 45 kills an hour, which is on the lower spectrum, to 75 kills an hour, which is on the higher spectrum. I highly recommend to always upgrade to make it passively and as most AFK as possible, so auto-retaliate might be a good thing to do. Keep in mind, if you run out on your extended anti-fire or your prayer, you might be in a problem, especially for alting. If they do happen to melee you, just walk one square out and AFK further along the line and do some other crimes. Maybe you're going for, I don't know, an other account, player killing or whatever. You do you. So as you saw, this 2 kills didn't take too long. We are not on task. But let's change it up to Void right now. So presumably Void is a little bit worse, but I don't think it's gonna be that much of a difference. Keep in mind I'm not completely stacked. I don't have the Rangers, Gations, things like that. But whatever, it should be fine. Elite Void is definitely a good secondary item to go for, especially if you don't have too much of a bank value. This is the way to go. So I will show you now what we're gonna make from it. So I calculated about 70 kills per hour, that's what I can average. I wouldn't say 75, it is definitely possible to go for 75 kills an hour, but that's the sweaty way, so I'm kind of more leaning towards 65, 70, so you know, 70 is average. If we see here, the input is barely minimum, and they kind of, you know, calculated a little bit more than we actually do, so you can even go lower than this. And then the output is 1.7 mil, which is crazy, guys. For an AFK alting method, this is the way to go. So I do understand not everybody has a T-bow. So let's say we go with 50 kills, right? Don't have T-bow, maybe Dragon Hunter Cross. 50, 60, well, let's go with 60. 60 is very nice, doable with Dragon Hunter Crossbow. We are still walking away with 1.5 mil a hour. And then Dragon Crossbow is maybe, what is it, 75 mil right now? Yeah, sure, it's a lot, but definitely more suitable for, you know, the average Joe, let's say. And honestly, that's a steal. 1.5 mil. You only spend about a day over time, you know, to get your Dragon Hunter Crossbow back. And after that, it's guaranteed money. You know, especially if you buy the supplies for this method, give it a couple of hours and then you make money. Very nice. So let's see. It says about here 40. So Dragon Hunter Crossbow about 55 plus. So I was kind of, you know, average on there. With Anguish and things like that. Elite Void and 65 plus for Armadillo, Void and a Twisted. So even on the lower spectrum, you still make a mil an hour. With just a Fury even? Wow, that's crazy. The reason why I recorded it here is since we're gonna need the house. If you have done certain things in the house, if not, you can always use it. The Digside Pendle over here. Items needed. I would either go with full bundles, but I didn't have the tassets, or would go with full Justiciar and then some food. Honestly, if you don't bring the DFS and go with a Defender, you should use super restorers. Sorry, super anti-fires. And otherwise normal anti-fires, extended anti-fires are worth as well if you use the DFS for a little bit more defense. The way you want to teleport from the Digside Pendant actually is Littrucken. Whatever it's pronounced, I think I nailed it. I at least hope so. Your quick prayer should look something like this. Piety and of course Mage. This is somewhat of an AFK, but yet not too AFK, so keep an eye out. They might actually deal a certain amount of damage that you don't like. So don't go too AFK. It's a really nice moneymaker. I think it's still quite a lot. We shall see on the RUNE light however we can get, but as you see, There are, of course, different ways. You can range them, you can melee them, you can mage them. Wouldn't advise mage. Second best in my opinion is range. Best one is by far melee. So go with the Dragon Hunter Lance to make your money quite well. So you need about, I would say, give or take 100, 120 mil to really, you know, start off, if that makes sense. But it's just beautiful. This took less than a minute. We already made a good 25k, give or take. That's just fun. So onto the Wikipedia for money a hour. So it is give or take about 45 kills a hour apparently, with a profit of 1.3 million divided by your supplies. I honestly think it can be a little bit less if you don't use the divines and maybe upgrade it to super anti-fire instead of normal ones, but it might average out. So it could be good as well. So if you see here, every kill is about 37k, which is not too bad. Not too bad at all. If you include uniques, if you exclude it, it's about 36k. So it's about only 1k lose. That overall, that's not bad at all. Kills per hour, let's say bundles, right? Oh, it's even 55k. Jesus. So that's actually 2.0. Let's round it down. 2.0. Which is not too bad at all. If you're on task, you can see that you can clearly add another 5. Well, we knew that it was give or take 35 kills, so that's more like 2.1, 2. That was 2.2. That's not bad at all. Honestly, guys, that's just amazing. Sure, you can bring high aura just to stay a little bit longer if you like. I personally don't do that. I just bank really quickly and go back, since it's that fast anyway. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching this guide. Please feel free to subscribe, like and share the video. We are also on Twitch. Have a good one. Bye bye.